What is going on, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Now, the movie hangout show from Apocaflix Movies. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and I am joined by Brian Avlicino and Gio Ramos for now. What is going on, guys?
Another day.
Tuesday.
Yay, Tuesday. Woo.
News Day. Yes, it is definitely a news day. We'll be talking about some of that soon. Jake Berlin should be joining us shortly. No Keith on this one, but he will be joining us on Thursday for something special we will be doing. And like always, let's go ahead and start off our show with covering the movie watching challenge, the little segment we do here where we challenge each other to watch movies. It's like one of the most fun things that we do here. And Brian was challenged to watch Snatch. The viewers chose for Brian to watch Snatch. So Brian, why don't you give us your thoughts on Guy Ritchie's Snatch?
Yeah, so left it up to choice to see what would come of May. Got saddled with Snatch. Yeah, did not care for this movie that much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Keith is going to be furious.
Yeah, well, should have showed up on time. I call me a weirdo, call me an outlier. I like feel like I never knew what was going on or what was supposed to be going on, and that may or may not have been the theme of the movie. But I feel like I literally did not know like what was trying to be done until the last 5 minutes. Like clearly they wanted that diamond, but like you could have told me otherwise throughout the whole entire movie. Because I mean,
did you put the subtitles on?
God, you have no idea.
Oh man,
yes, I made it like 5 minutes, and I was like, "What the hell is everyone saying?" Like, I'm like, are they purposely speaking like this? And then put on subtitles, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
this isn't all subtitles.
Just like that part of England thing, and I think they're in England, right?
London, yes.
Yeah, London.
They're
like
London.
They can all understand each other, but we can't understand them.
Yeah, no. The gypsy Brad Pitt was the best part of the movie. I'll say that. That was
his attempt at an accent, even though.
I don't even know if that's an accent.
No, it wasn't. He he was trying to do something and it just like came out a certain way.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, he was the best part of that whole entire movie. There were so many freaking people in this movie. Holy moly. Like there was like 40 cast members. It was insane. I couldn't even keep up. I was like, okay, they're doing this one. Okay, they want this. They're doing this. It was rough for me. Yeah, it wasn't didn't take for me. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I feel
like The Gentleman.
I love The Gentleman. Love The Gentleman.
That's interesting.
Which that's what I thought like I was getting myself into. Like I was like, okay, this is going to be The Gentleman. I'm excited. Like I loved The Gentleman. That was a great movie. I own it. It's I think I have it right now as the best movie of this year.
It's up there.
So we know Harley Quinn's the best movie.
No,
I'm kidding.
I have Invisible Man as.
Oh God. Okay, sorry. Star Drew, you did that. That had me though. Anytime the dog was there, that made me laugh pretty hard. The Pitbull was pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't like it felt very long. I felt like it could have been a little bit shorter. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a weirdo.
No, you know what, Brian? Keith had me watch this movie as well, and while I enjoyed it, I didn't love it like I thought I was going to be honest. Like it is hard to follow. Like I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I rewinded it sometimes because I was like, wait, what? And then I had to rewind it.
Yeah.
And like, okay, that's what's going on. And I definitely had to have subtitles on. I get it. It's like it's a Guy Ritchie film. Like this is one of his earliest films, and it's very stylized, like Guy Ritchie. To me, in my opinion, I think he's gotten better as a director since this point. Like I think,
100%.
I think Snatch is very raw. Like it is. It's very. Do you know what raw means, Gio? Like it raw means like he's still figuring things out, but he still made a really good movie. But then when he get to like I feel like The Gentleman is perfectly constructed. I
love The Gentleman.
Like he made Snatch, and then a lot of people like Snatch more than Rock and Rolla, but I like Rock and Rolla a lot. Which they're all Snatch, Rock and Rolla, and The Gentleman, like they feel like the same movie. They're like the same style and everything. And I think in my opinion, he got better. But Snatch is still a good movie. But I agree with you; it is hard to follow.
Yeah, it was. That was one problem I really had with this. Was like I was like, okay, this just happened. Okay, it's because this. And I'm like, and by that time, 2 more plots or stories have gone by. I will say the ending of the movie I did like.
Yeah,
I didn't see that coming at the end, so I was like, oh, okay. I did not see that coming a mile away. So, and I love that Brad Pitt just literally he's like one punch man, literally just one dodge punch out. But yeah, so Snatch. I feel bad because a lot of people were really excited for me to watch.
The thing is, for me, like I want us when we do this movie watching challenge, like I want us to be honest. Because what's the point if we're not gonna like be truthful about how we felt about the movie? We don't have to like everything that we're challenged to. Like Keith didn't like Troy, and Jake and I were furious, but that's just how it works,
Blasphemy.
Keith, Gio, I know you've always been high on Snatch ever since I've known you. So you're obviously like not happy with Brian's reaction. Is it your favorite Guy Ritchie film?
I don't want to say I'm not happy. I'm surprised. Like I'll straight up throw this on a given night and make me a Jack and Coke and just have fun with it. But Brian, I have heard his opinion before through other people, so it's just I don't know. I guess I enjoy it.
yeah, that makes sense.
I don't even know who was the one that picked this movie.
I think Keith did, right? Oh, you did.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry, Gio.
No, that's okay.
Because I challenged you in return.
You're probably not gonna like the movie that we're gonna watch on a watch along either, so I'll just say that.
Not me.
Oh, well, we haven't discussed that yet. All right. Well, the second part of this is somebody else new is challenged, and Gio has been challenged this time around. That's always a fun one to do. And before we reveal the movies, Gio, you get to decide. Do you want to pick a random number 1 through 4, or do you want the viewers to vote on your movie?
I'll go 1 through 4. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up with like Night Before Christmas or something.
So you'd rather have it be random than people choose your fate. Okay, all right, let's do it. So are you gonna reveal the movies first, Brian?
Yes. I have to make a random order.
Don't reveal them in order 1 through 4.
No, I'm not. I'm not that dumb. So if you don't know, Gio is going to now select a number 1 through 4 after we reveal the 4 movies that he has been challenged to. And I have written them down in a random order. And the order that I reveal them is not the order of 1 through 4, as Jacob said. All right, Gio. Your movies that you have been challenged to are The Time Machine, Donnie Brasco, Hidalgo,
Strider,
and Orange County.
What the?
Brian, there's some of these movies. This is going to be interesting.
You have quite the mix of movies.
This is the most random mix ever, to be honest.
Yes,
it has to be.
This is a very, very weird mix of movies.
Gio, have you heard of all of these movies?
No, I have. Well, Hidalgo, yeah, but the other ones, I don't even remember the first movie. What was the first movie?
The first one was The Time Machine.
I think, I've heard of that. Yeah, is that Guy Pearce?
Oh, Guy Pearce. I said Guy Ritchie. What the heck? Guy Pearce. Yeah.
What's with you guys and challenging me Guy Pearce movies?
Oh, you got Memento.
Maybe it's a certain someone. Don't ask me.
All right. Well, now Gio, you get to pick a number 1 through 4, and again, that wasn't the order.
I have a random
on
my whiteboard. So
let's see. I pick Hidalgo.
No, you don't get to pick the movie.
All right. I'm gonna go with number 2.
Your choice is Orange County, which was my choice. Yay!
What the hell is that?
That was the list.
Okay, so Brian,
Yes.
All right, so I've seen this movie on the list before, and I have never seen it. I don't think I've even heard of it until I saw it on the list, and I looked into it, and because I was like, did they make an Orange County movie like based on the show the OC or something? And then I was like, what? But yeah, so obviously Brian chose this movie. I'm guessing this is a classic Brian comedy.
What's it about?
It is not.
Oh, it's not a comedy. Oh, it is a comedy, but it's not. It's not like the White Chicks or White Chicks.
No. It's not like it's not as stupid. This is honestly, I'll say one of, if not Jack Black's like first.
It was 2002.
Yeah, 2002.
Pretty early.
So basically the plot is Colin Hanks is this super smart kid that has like he knows what he wants to do in life. He has like yada 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 in that order. And he's a senior, and he absolutely must go to Stanford. That's where he has to go to school. Well, his guidance counselor sent the wrong transcript to Stanford, and then his whole life goes upside down from that. And Jack Black is essentially his like burnout brother. So
you know what? I read the synopsis and I thought Jack Black was the counselor.
No. He's the burnout brother.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want to give too much away.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask questions, but it's Colin Hanks. Yeah, I recently been watching some stuff that he's been appearing in.
Yeah, I'm curious. It starts off where you're just like, oh, it's a stupid movie, but then it gets a little bit deep. So yeah, okay. I'm curious to see what you think of this.
Hey Gio, good thing for you, it's only an hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah, short movie.
Grab some smoke and watch it.
It's like a long episode of Game of Thrones, like
pretty much.
Lengthwise.
What's funny is it's got a decent cast too. Like it has Colin Hanks, Jack Black, Catherine O'Hara, John Lithgow, and Lily Tomlin, and Chevy Chase.
Oh wow!
Okay. So it's got a decent cast. But yeah, I'm very curious to see. If you don't end up liking this, you won't hurt my feelings. So feel free to berate this one.
Colin Hanks
at the end of the movie.
Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks, which is interesting because Colin Hanks and John Lithgow both play serial killers on Dexter. Fun fact.
So Brian,
Dexter, yes,
he ends up going to Stanford, right?
Don't ruin the movie.
You?
Okay.
Don't ruin the movie.
All right, cool.
All right, well, let's move on. There you have it. Gio's gonna watch the highly anticipated Orange County.
I love that poster, by the way.
Oh, it is a cool poster. When I looked it up, with the oranges and stuff, that was pretty funny.
Yes.
Awesome. Well,
my movies hasn't gotten picked for a while.
Oh, I'm sure Jake might be joining us soon. I can just feel it because the Mandalorian discussion's coming up.
Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. So there you go. Next week we'll be talking Orange County and get Gio's thoughts. What is up, Jake Berlin? Perfect timing.
You said that because I was in the queue. You could see me in the queue, obviously.
No, I wasn't even looking. What?
So Brian, what you think of Snatch? Real quick, I know we got to move on, but what you think of Snatch?
I did not like it.
I didn't think you would. It's not your type of movie.
That's interesting.
Partly because you probably didn't understand it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's weird. I know it's not the same, but he really likes The Gentleman. But I
love The Gentleman.
The Gentleman is much more of a.
It's easier to understand, I think.
Well, it's much more of an Americanized Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. His audience was more like everybody, when Snatch was probably like just straight British London film. Like,
this had too many.
And then
I just couldn't remember who was what and did this and that, and I was just so confused half the time.
And then who Gio pick for the or what do you pick?
Gio got Orange County.
Oh, I'm gonna rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in a very, very long time. I love it.
I've never seen it. I might just rewatch it just to talk about it next week.
I told him he won't break my heart if he doesn't like this movie. This movie, I honestly could care less if you like or don't like. I'm because I'm actually very curious to see if you will like it or not like it. Like I feel like this is a very much a coin toss of a movie. Either you're really gonna like it or you're really not gonna like it. So I'm kind of curious to see which way you fall.
Okay,
it'll be fun. Wait, so he picked a number, I'm gussing.
Yeah, he did.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he picked a number. Because obviously we chose the movie. So I don't think Orange County would have won the vote. I'm just gonna go out on a limb there.
Probably not.
We were saying this movie group is a random ass.
It's very random.
Movies.
The movies that he was challenged to.
So and he's
kind of sad. Mine didn't win, but maybe one day. I'm not going to say what it was. Maybe.
And he doesn't like that he always gets challenged to Guy Pearce movies.
It was one, and now in second one.
So yeah,
I'm gonna find a Guy Pearce movie for next time. Now, every time Guy Pearce movie, we should all submit Guy Pearce movies next time. There we go. All right, well, perfect timing, Jake, because now we're getting to the news and reviews, and I would love for you to explain what we got on the docket here.
So the first thing we have is the big thing that came out yesterday. It wasn't massive. But it was enough to create a conversation here on the channel, and we did a reaction. Brian and I did a reaction yesterday to the Mandalorian special look, as they're calling it, during Monday Night Football. But we have not heard Jacob and Gio's thoughts, and so we get some chances to discuss it here a little bit for like 5-10 minutes, because there wasn't a whole lot of new footage, but there was enough to talk about and discuss in anticipation of being that the show is only about a week and a half away. A lot of our discussions here on the channel are going to revolve around that for a while. Especially because we have the Mandalorian Club coming up on Friday, and then we're going to talk about it on next week's now as well. So, Jacob and Gio, you guys can discuss your thoughts and everything, and Brian and I will kind of chime in as you go because we have already kind of discussed it a little bit.
Go ahead, Gio.
Well, first off, let me say you guys did a really good job on the reaction. I tuned in, and
Thanks,
quite a few people were in there as well, and for myself, I didn't think it was anything real special, and kind of falls in line with your guys' thoughts. It wasn't too big. I guess ever since The Force Awakens Monday Night Football trailer, like, it set a bar high, like anytime something's going to premiere on Monday Night Football, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be insane. And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely looking forward to The Mandalorian Season 2. I mean, you guys called it, you thought Mandalorian would be like right up my alley, and it absolutely was. It was incredible. So I guess my biggest questions are like, why are X-Wing fighters chasing the Mandalorian, I guess? And maybe you guys can help me with this. Did that armor lady die in the first season?
No, the armorer. No,
she didn't die. Okay, so she's
well,
still
no,
there.
yeah, no.
Definitely a standout character. It's nice to see more of Carl Weathers' character too in there as well. I like his relationship with the Mandalorian. He's kind of like, I don't want to say a father figure, but like, you know, he it seems like their longtime rapport. He listens to him more than he would probably other people, if anyone. But like I said in the chat for yesterday's reaction, which you guys should definitely check out, I called it that he will get killed off, unfortunately, and it just it makes sense, you know. Like you got to have some kind of sacrifice in season 2. That, and they're not going to sacrifice Baby Yoda. I don't think they would do that. So
never say never.
He'd be the natural choice. Yeah, it wasn't anything real too special, but hey, I'm looking forward to season 2. You guys know I am. So
I will butt in real quick and say, wild couple of years, but it was the 5th anniversary of that Monday Night Football Force Awakens trailer that you just mentioned this week.
Oh wow,
really
interesting,
man.
Yeah. Well, that last comment in the live chat here is perfect. That's exactly
100%.
what it is. Less is more in trailers for Mandalorian, to be honest, because I was kind of hesitant. Like I kind of didn't want to watch it because I didn't want them to show too much, but they didn't show too much. And while I agree with Gio, like nothing that I saw blew me away, but I'm okay with that because if there's stuff that's going to blow me away, I want to see it for the first time while I'm watching the show. So I'm totally okay with what I saw. And there's things in there that got me hyped though. Like seeing him use the jetpack, that got me hyped. Seeing Cara Dune and Grief Karga like back, not just, it doesn't look like they're going to be in one episode cameo. It looks like they're going to help him with this mission. And I was afraid of that they were going to go away from those characters because when you got to the end of season 1, when they were all working together, that was some of the best stuff in the entire season. So I'm happy to see them back in a more prominent role. Like that scene where the door opens and they're all 3 standing there. That's a badass shot. And then, like I said, I love the jetpack stuff. So it definitely raised my excitement, but it didn't do anything to blow me away for sure.
Jacob, I referred to when Brian and I were on the reaction, I said that like Arrow and Flash, that's Team Mando.
Basically,
Team Mando.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Arrow, Team Flash. That's kind of what it's like, kind of getting to in a way, where he realizes that he might need them more than he thinks he does to do things.
Yeah, exactly. And the child is part of that right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so it'll definitely be interesting. I don't know if you guys noticed, but did you see that Horatio Sands is back as well as the Blue Alien?
Really? I saw the Blue Alien several times.
Yeah. And so, we were talking about it on the reaction, and then someone had screenshotted it and put it on Twitter, and it is him. If not an identical version of him in some other name, but it is him. And so maybe they break him out or they do something else and he just happens to be there.
Has he been on the ship this whole time?
Well, remember last time he was in Carbonite. So
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Has he been in Carbonite on the ship the whole time?
Yeah, I mean,
I think he delivered those. He delivered those.
Yeah, he delivered them in the first episode, but which is a cool little tie back. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And like you said, I like that we don't really know anything at this point. So
yeah, I'm still super excited, man. Like I can't believe it's this close.
Brian, have your thoughts changed at all?
I kind of, it's funny because like I contradict myself because I'm kind of like, yeah, it was a trailer, but like it wasn't. It was just a little quick, like, hey, you got
a TV ad.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't have wanted to see any more. Like, so like, did it get overhyped? Yes. But I mean, the fans overhyped. We overhyped it. But at the same time, I wouldn't have wanted to see anything. So, that's a good little theory. Hold on to that. But
she already is like halfway there with what she has on.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't have wanted to see anything else. I mean, I'm good. We're only a week and change away. I don't need to see anything. Like, there's no point. Why waste it? with a week left. Why be like, hey, look, here's one of our big surprises of the season? It doesn't make any sense. So
I don't know, man. Disney could use more money, after
they will be fine once
this pandemic.
You know how many subscribers are going to get back just for Mandalorian?
Well, yeah, people canceled that after Mandalorian season 1 was over.
They'll be
and
fine.
then they're going to add it back.
Yeah. So not to mention the 1 year release anniversary of Disney Plus is next month. So they're going to be renewing a lot of subscriptions, myself included. So
for the annual charge?
Yeah, you pay for the full year. I just got my notice saying like, hey, November, blah, blah, blah is your yearly renewal. So they're fine. I'm not too worried. And I have a feeling the second that Mandalorian ends is when WandaVision is going to start. So they're going to keep people around. But yeah, no, I want nothing more. Show me nothing more of Mandalorian unless it's the show.
Can I add one more thing? I guess for me, it's just when I think back to the first season of Mandalorian and that trailer, those trailers had that whoa moment, like when Mando pulls the guy and he gets chopped in half by the door, like that caught your eye. And in this most recent trailer, I was kind of looking for that. I mean, maybe you could say it's the Mandalorian using his Iron Man technology to shoot like 7 people at once, or him flying in a jetpack. So,
well, let's make one thing clear: Iron Man got that from the Mandalorians. First of all, second, that shot was in the very first trailer. When at the very end of that trailer, where he takes down that big dude and he makes Baby Yoda put his little capsule on. And third, you don't need to do that anymore because people are already hooked. People are already hooked.
I agree with that.
You could have gone into this season without showing a trailer, and it would not have mattered. It would not have mattered. You could have just dropped the first episode, and people would have been like, "Oh, yep, I'm excited. I'm subbing again because it's Mandalorian." And so I personally don't think they needed to, just because the hype was already there. It's already changing things for the way people are looking at Star Wars. And like I said, I do think that was probably in the first trailer and not the second trailer.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have Brian look back at the history of Iron Man comics to figure that out. Who did that first? But
who did what? The whistling boy first?
Not that necessarily, but
oh.
you know
the
what
technology
I'm saying? Like the tracking, the tracking stuff. All right, well, obviously we're all excited for this. Look forward to the Mandalorian Club where we will review every episode coming back at the end of the month. That we're
Friday, 4 p.m. live Pacific.
Right here. All right, Jake, what do we got next?
Okay, so we're getting into a spoiler review here. We haven't done one of these in a while, obviously because nothing is hitting movie theaters, and only Netflix movies and streaming movies are hitting us. And finally, we got a big budget Oscar-type movie that officially hit Netflix this past weekend, and that is The Trial of the Chicago 7, the Aaron Sorkin written and directed film. If you don't know who Aaron Sorkin is, he has written a number of phenomenal films, including oh my God, why am I blanking on the name on this?
Steve Jobs, but a bunch of other stuff too.
He wrote The Social Network and a bunch of other stuff. So this film is based on the true events of the infamous 1969 trial of 7 defendants charged by the federal government with conspiracy and more arising from the countercultural protests in Chicago at the 1968 Democratic National Convention. The trial transfixed the nation and sparked a conversation about mayhem intended to undermine the U.S. government. It's obviously a pretty important film because of what happened decades ago during Vietnam and everything like that. But it's also extremely relevant to what's happening today in certain situations. But it's also a big budget movie. It stars a lot of big names: Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne, Michael Keaton makes an appearance. Mark Rylance is in there. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is in there. There's a lot of big names in the movie. And so we're just going to go around, talk about it, our thoughts, our opinions, some big moments, things we didn't like. And whoever wants to start, whoever wants to get their thoughts off their chest first, the floor is theirs.
Man, this was Netflix's best movie by far.
A lot of people are saying that.
Wow.
I
don't disagree, but I'd have to think about it.
Aaron Sorkin is, man, he's a genius. Like, not many writers can also direct, but what he did with this movie, Like after the first 10 minutes, I was just immediately into it. And once you get into the actual courtroom, man, some of the best work that I've seen from a courtroom drama. I mean, everybody's engaged. Every line of dialogue, every action and reaction from this awesome cast. I don't know who to start with as far as how great everyone was performance wise. I guess Mark Rylance, who I still hold a little bit of a grudge for stealing Stallone's Oscar in 2015. But man, in this movie, he just brings so much energy, and he's just a lawyer trying to every loophole that the United States government presents in this case. He's trying to make it work somehow, and get these guys off. And the whole look and feel of that time in U.S. history, it was well done. Sacha Baron Cohen, man, like a lot of people know him just for Borat, and he's kind of a comedian, but this guy can seriously do some drama. He was awesome. So all in all, great. I loved it. I want to watch it again. It was really, really well done. So.
Yeah, the thing that I take away from this movie, and I'll kind of piggyback off of what you said with the performances, I think Sacha Baron Cohen probably stole the movie, because for the majority of the movie, up until a certain point, it's really kind of almost told through his eyes in a way, like the events of his character. And he has a lot of dialogue happening in the first half or so of the movie, and he does it really, really well. He does it really well. And Mark Rylance is obviously always great as Mark Rylance. And the other person that kind of takes it over towards the end is Eddie Redmayne. There's moments where Eddie Redmayne kind of steps up in the scenes that his character is really important. And little did we know in the beginning of the movie, but his character is by far the most important of his group of characters. But the big thing is that Aaron Sorkin is a storyteller, and probably the best storyteller we have. He's phenomenal at writing stories and transitioning between certain events that are happening. And there's not a lot of directors that can make a courtroom drama as invigorating as he did this movie. And the reasons why is because he told it in two different timelines as they were going at the same time. And he trusted you as a viewer to understand what he was doing. Because he didn't say like, oh, present day, and then, 30 days ago or whatever. He would put up like trial day so-and-so every once in a while, but he trusted you to know when they would go back in the past. And then when he went back in the past, it's the way he told those stories that really intrigued me and interested me because, like, for example, the main riot that happened that they focused on, Take the Hill, that riot, I was like, and it's an awful, awful thing, obviously. Like, it's just an awful thing to watch. But the way that he had inputted the real life footage into the footage he was shooting was like magnificent. Like, it's like almost like when someone was being punched or something, it would switch the second a punch was landed to the real life footage and then switch back. So you can get that experience of like what it looked like. But yeah, I think he's only directed very, very few movies. He's known as a writer. And we've seen, like Gio said, sometimes where writers are on transition as well to directing because the writing mentality is very different. It's totally different for this guy. He's phenomenal. He's brilliant. Yeah, like I said, it's hard to make a courtroom drama as intense and invigorating as he did this film, and I think that he did it perfectly. And maybe in a few months I'll say that that's the best Netflix movie. It's up there. But maybe watching it again or something will definitely make you say that. But I couldn't believe how much I love this movie. I give kudos to a lot of people for making this movie because it's also a very hard movie to make right now.
Absolutely. It definitely is. I really enjoyed it. So this is only Aaron Sorkin's second directorial.
Yes.
He's only directed Molly's Game and this. And I loved Molly's Game.
Molly's Game is incredibly intelligent as well.
Yes, it is. And he's also written Moneyball and Steve Jobs and he's crazy good. The thing is for me, like if you look at like Steve Jobs, he makes just these presentations and behind the scenes stuff entertaining and intense. He makes this courtroom drama and all the behind the scenes of it and everything leading up to it and involving around it, like very entertaining. Like the movie started right and it's setting you up, and once they get in that first courtroom scene, immediately like pulled me in, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And it's kind of like, you know, not that I had it on in the background, but I was just like looking at some homework and watching it, and as soon as that courtroom scene started, I'm just like hooked to the screen. It's just, there's not a single like word or shot wasted. You know what I mean? Like he utilizes everything perfectly. And I knew about the movie and I knew it was Aaron Sorkin and I heard of the true story, but I didn't know it had this cast. I started seeing like, I was like, is that Eddie Redmayne over there? And I was like, is that Sacha Baron Cohen? And you mentioned it, Gio, but Sacha Baron Cohen, oh my goodness. And you mentioned it too, Jake. He was great in this. He was really good. It's crazy. Like this is it's a serious movie focused on a historical event, but it's also, in a weird way, it's also one of the most entertaining movies I've seen all year because of the way it's edited and the dialogue. I don't know. It's just, and there's a couple funny moments too, but not like they're not meant to be funny, but they are, like, and he plays it ironically. So this is up there. I can't think of a Netflix movie that's better, but I just have to look at a list in front of me. But yeah, very different, but it's unfortunate that we don't know what's going on with the Oscars. Like for now, they're planned. If the Oscars happen this year, this is going to get nominated for Best Picture. But if they don't happen, the Oscars are going to be virtual if they happen. There's not going to have to be an in-person event. But if they do, this is going to be up there. Not that there's enough competition like normal, but this is an Oscar-worthy film, in my opinion.
I'm very interested in Brian's thoughts.
Yeah, me too.
Very interested.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna ask whether or not you thought I liked it or did not like it.
I think you probably liked some things, but if it was like a yes or a no, I'd probably say you're about 51%. No, I didn't like it. 49%. I didn't like it.
Definitely liked it more than Snatch. I'm
gonna say you did like it.
I thought this movie was freaking phenomenal.
Nice. Thank God. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Did I watch this?
Brian liked the drama. Hell has frozen over.
Okay.
I'm glad we waited for Brian last because I was like wondering this whole time if Brian liked it.
It was fast paced. That's why.
Well, that Jacob mentioned, it's the editing.
Mm-hmm.
The editing is done.
It caught me from the very beginning. If you can catch me in the first like minute, you will have me the whole entire time. And this movie caught me from the second it started. I watched 3 movies this weekend: Snatch, Ready or Not, and in this
Chicago 7.
This was the first one I watched, and I was like hooked into this. Like it was. I loved this movie. Loved it.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't have a lot to compare it to, but I think I have this as my number 3 movie of the year, or 2. I'm not. So, see, I haven't seen that one, Kevin. So and it is on my list to see. So I don't.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's in the conversation.
Yeah, I'm staying out of the best.
You mean Roma isn't your favorite Netflix movie?
Yeah, I've never even seen that. But yeah, damn, this movie was incredible.
Who's your favorite, Brian? Because you made a face when I said Sacha Baron Cohen stole the movie, so I'm interested.
I made a face. Did I?
Yeah.
Who was my favorite? Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character was
brilliant,
incredible, and heartbreaking, and he barely had a part in the movie. Like he was not, and that was on purpose because he was not supposed to be anywhere on this trial. And that was purposely there. So every single time he did something, it was just like, whoa, like this happened. Like I couldn't believe it. It was like, holy moly. But I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen's performance was as this person was amazing, because you start off thinking he's a hippie burnout, this hippie dippy that just, free love, end the war, let's get high, but whatever. Only to find out that he's the smartest person there. Like, and it was just, every character was incredible. Every single one. Even the gentleman that was the Boy Scout, the troop leader guy, that ended up being the one that
Zodiac Killer, John Carl Lynch.
Is that?
I think so.
Oh yeah, the one that punched the guy in courtroom.
Yeah, just
Yes.
It was just like, it was so good. But honestly, the thing that just like Yahya Abdul-Mateen's, I was holding my breath every single time, because and I will say this, the judge was amazing.
That's what and the fact about him at the end of the movie too, how like 78% or something of officials said that he wasn't a worthy judge. Like, that's a big trial to have an unworthy judge on. Like, it really showed the way he was.
It was just, the whole thing was just like, one thing for me is, hi Brandy. This is why I can never have movie theaters go away, because it is very, 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 very hard for me to give something my full attention at home. Like, I'll have stuff distracting me, like, I'm going to go make food or something like that. Or my phone's going off. Whereas in a movie theater, it's like, phone's away, you're watching the screen. This is one of the only times I can think of recently for me, other than Ready or Not, which that did too, where I was just like, don't bug me. Like, my phone, like, I was going to throw it across the room, so I didn't know if it was going off. And if you can do that to me at home, you've done something really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I'm super happy Brian liked it. The other movie that I would say is in the conversation is Marriage Story. I forgot about that.
I was just going to say Marriage Story is my number one.
Yeah, that might be my number one. I just need more time. I just finished this movie right now before we started the podcast. So
I will say
I need time,
because we do want to get to Power Rangers.
Yes.
One person we have not mentioned is Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. He was solid. I like how his character was like he looked like he was on the wrong side the whole time. Like the way his performance was, like he knew he was, but he was like just doing his job. But yeah, so we all loved it here at Apocaflix. It's, not everybody always loves every movie. So that's a 4 out of 4.
Another good courtroom drama that is on Amazon Prime right now. That's on Prime Video.
I want to hear Keith's thought on this one day. Maybe we can just catch up with him if he gets a chance to watch it. But Jake, do we have anything else to talk about today?
Of course. It is our thumbnail topic of the day.
You're asking that question.
I mean, I might as well just do this for the rest of the show.
Pretty much.
Sure.
Let that happen.
I want you to break down the news, though.
So today came up some pretty shocking news that Power Rangers, the company behind Power Rangers, which is officially named E1, the studio behind Power Rangers, they announced that a Power Rangers universe is officially in the works. It is officially happening, and that includes new movies and at least one television show that is going to create an interconnected universe. You heard that correct. So the reboot was announced today.
No, I'm kidding.
The reboot was announced today, and it was also announced that Jonathan Entwistle, who is responsible for Netflix's I'm Not Okay With This and The End of the Effing World, will spearhead the operation, essentially naming him the Kevin Feige of Power Rangers. Brian, you just zoomed in on yourself, and it looks.
I didn't even do anything; it just zoomed in.
That's weird.
And so he's essentially gonna be like the Kevin Feige-esque of this universe, but he's going to be directing as well. So he's not just going to be behind the scenes; he will actually be behind the camera as well. Last year, it's interesting because last year it was actually announced that he would be in charge of directing one film, one Power Rangers movie, which was that movie you heard about the Rangers going back in time to the 90s, getting stuck there, and then trying to find their way back to their time. No word in the report on whether or not that is still happening, if it's going to be true or not, and it's still unclear if this is connected to or going to include the any cast members from the 2017 movie. They didn't say that it wouldn't. They didn't say that it will. So maybe that possibility is still out there. Who knows? And so it's interesting, but we're living in a world of interconnected universes and multiverses and this type of stuff. I can't speak on it too much, but it seems like Power Rangers may be big enough to be able to create something like that, because it seems like there's a number of different Ranger teams and characters out there that you can do this. And so obviously I want to go to Jacob first because he is our resident Power Rangers person. He has a Power Rangers podcast. If you're in Power Rangers, Off the Grid. Yes. You can check that out. Off the Morphin Grid is what it's called on YouTube. Produced by Jake Berlin. But
that's correct.
Jacob, what are you thinking about Power Rangers universe from this director and it including both movies and television?
Look, obviously I'm excited to hear this. Like Brian put it on the you know what? Nowadays, I get my news from you guys in the Facebook group chat. That's how I get my news. Is from Jake and Brian and Gio sometimes posting stuff in our Facebook group chat for Apocaflix. And of course, I'm excited, but I don't want to get my hopes up at the same time because, and this is very different. Look, before they announced, look, we're going to do 6 movies, that was just very premature. It was a totally different team. It was a totally different owner of the rights and everything. 100% yes. I want both of them in some capacity. But nice. Awesome. Hey, honestly, that just made my day. But yeah, so this is cool because there is a lot of mythology behind Power Rangers. And I read the Power Rangers comics, and the most exciting thing about Power Rangers going on right now is it started with this thing called Shattered Grid. And I'm not going to get into it, but I've been saying that's where they need to go. And you could just look it up, research the synopsis of Shattered Grid in the comics by Boom Comics. And it involves like multi-dimensions and things like that and different worlds, kind of like, the Arrowverse with like Earth 1 and Earth 2 type thing. And speaking of that, the reason look, the new shows they're very cheesy and they're made for kids. I want them to make a legit serious show.
This is going to be
that goes along with the movie universe. That's what I'm hoping for. And at minimum, give me like a Flash style budget. Like just at least that's all I'm asking for, to be honest. Because I love, the great seasons of the Flash, I love. So if you give me that quality, because the Power Ranger shows are like 1/10 of that quality in the newer ones, like as far as production budget goes, probably even less than that. So I just want something and I was looking into it. They spend about $3 million an episode on the Flash. So
Jacob, I'll say this right now. And I don't know the rights and like where it lies as far as studios and stuff. I'll make a bold prediction. Say if they do a Power Ranger show, it's going to be on Netflix.
Possibly. I mean, that's the thing. So Hasbro is the company behind Power Rangers right now. So once Hasbro bought Power Rangers, I was like, yes, they're going to do something with it. And this is them through E1 doing something. And look, bottom line is we knew this Entwistle movie was coming, and I need to watch some of his shows. Jake, you've seen one or two of his shows before? Or
I've seen
End of the Effing World, right?
I've seen a couple episodes of I'm not okay with this. It stars Beverly from It, that girl who plays Beverly.
Really? Oh, love her.
And then The End of the Effing World is a very vulgar show about two teens.
Okay.
And murdering.
Yeah, I mean, I want to check out his stuff because look,
he's really talented, and they have like this underlying comedy to it, like
you sound like
kind of dark comedies, kind of black comedies. But that's why I say that it'll more than likely end on Netflix. The guy has a relationship with the company, and because I do want to pause real quick and make sure I talk about this. But Netflix just bought this as well, Thank you, Thunera, for the super chat. Very, very appreciative. They just got Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai was on YouTube, and they paid a lot of money for it. And Power Rangers can be very similar. It can be very, very similar because it's a similar audience. And Cobra Kai has blown up. And this person is correct. These actors would be perfect. Absolutely.
See, I've never watched Cobra Kai, so I can't comment, but maybe Brian can.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a
So Robbie is the bad boy of Cobra Kai.
Oh, okay.
He plays the old villain's son.
Oh, okay.
And so he's kind of like this bad boy guy, kind of like a biker kid. And then Sam is the daughter of the main character, and then Miguel is now the new protagonist, and Dimitri that's Hawk, right? Dimitri, is that Hawk?
I believe, yeah.
And Billy's supposed to be the intelligent one who's tech savvy and things like that. So
yeah, I think Dimitri's Hawk. So, but honestly, if they just transfer over the Cobra Kai cast to Power Rangers, I'd be totally down.
Well, that's the thing. Honestly, so the 2017 movie, one thing that disappointed me was they didn't get into the martial arts and karate at all. And that's part of Power Rangers that at least Jason and Tommy are, and Trini as well, are martial artists. And they teach karate like at the local club or whatever. I would love for them to get into that stuff with this, because that's part of why they get chosen as Power Rangers, because they know most of them know how to do hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm stoked. I just hope it becomes a reality, because the thing is, I don't know if the demand outside of Power Ranger fans is enough, because obviously that movie flopped. So where's the demand? I don't know if a movie is going to succeed in theaters. I kind of want the show to come out first, because I don't want the success of this to be hinging on a movie making $500 million at the box office. I want them to take their time and give it a chance. So yeah, I'm stoked.
Gio, you're awfully quiet.
Oh, I'm letting Jacob, this is his thing, like if this was Snyder Cut, I'd be all over it. But
I know Brian's a resident Power Ranger guy too.
In command of Power Rangers of this podcast.
But Gio, what do you think in general? Do you think this sounds good?
It sounds good. It sounds promising. I just have to see it. I just have to see it. I'm with you, Jacob, and I really enjoyed that 2017 Power Rangers movie. In fact,
I don't mind that movie either. And I've always said I would love to see a sequel. And the fact that they didn't say like this is going to be brand new, maybe leaves open that possibility. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. Wanted
the tall dude, the tall friend.
Oh, that's right. I like Hawk though.
Yeah, Hawk's
so I mean, Power Rangers is kind of like the Flash. Like I keep bringing the Flash up, but it's kind of like that, where there's a bunch of different Earths and things like that. And then there's so many different Power Ranger teams. Like they could do something where, they're the Power Rangers of Earth 1, and then there's a different Power Rangers team. Like they could do something like that. But I think they're rebooting.
Do that. They can literally just go to different sectors and stuff.
Yeah, I think they're going to do full reboot, though, to be honest.
I do too.
And it would make sense, because didn't the rights change recently?
Well, yeah, the owner and creator sold.
So it's no longer Saban, right? It's no longer.
He has nothing to do with it anymore.
Which that's always been the issue with Power Rangers, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. And he puts his name on it. He wants it to be called Saban's Power Rangers, and he wants a lot of control, things like that. So I love him for creating it. Like it's very similar to the George Lucas thing with Star Wars. Like we love the guy, he made it, he's the maker, but we kind of want somebody else directing the movies and making the creative decisions.
Gio, don't say it.
Yeah, Gio doesn't.
Not after that sequel.
But Brian, I'm curious, man. Like you grew up watching Power Rangers, and you're a Power Rangers fan. So what are your thoughts, man?
I 1,000,000% agree with what Gio said, in the fact that it should start off as a TV and then do maybe like a movie. That was Jacob that said it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Then I was giving
credit, Jacob. Jesus.
I was giving him credit for it. If they did that, I mean, Cobra Kai exploded.
Uh-huh.
Exploded. I almost want to say Netflix might not have even anticipated how popular. Like, I'm sure they knew it was going to be good, but I don't think they knew it was going to explode like it did. And for someone that works at a elementary school, or excuse me, a middle school and a high school, I would have, in this demographic that I work at, I would never think that they would latch on to Cobra Kai. It's the hottest thing in the world right now. Like, I mean, they talk
What's
about
funny
it.
Is it was already out, and then
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They haven't released anything new yet.
Yeah,
And exactly. And so that's why, to the point of it being on Netflix, is if you put something in front of people that's easily accessible, it has a chance to do really, really well. I guarantee you 99% of the kids at my school don't even know what the Karate Kid is. They just know it as Cobra Kai. So you kind of could like do this same motif with Power Rangers if you play your cards right, and you could explode this thing into something huge. Because who would have thought a little remake reboot that started off of Cobra Kai as just this little like, hey, look, we're doing a little Karate Kid. What did they do after? To now it's like the thing is going to explode when the next season comes out. So I think it would be genius if something like Netflix picked this up and went with it and built it and then rolled out a movie. Or maybe they don't even roll out the movie. They just put it, the movie is Netflix, like on Netflix.
I've thought about that before too. I've always wanted them to do a 10 episode Netflix series.
Yeah.
And just make them quality. Just make the episodes quality. And I don't even care because, like I said, I don't know if the demand is high enough to make enough money in the box office. But even though I want to watch it in the movie theater, I would be okay with a Netflix, universe where even the film comes out on Netflix. Like I would be okay with that.
Well, and I think what they need to do is they don't need to make a big budget for
no, not
film.
at all.
They can they can find their way to make something at a good price that doesn't require a massive box office haul. I did just look it up because I was interested on where Power Rangers, the 2017 movie, had landed for streaming service. It's never been on Netflix, which obviously doesn't worry anything. But it was on Prime Video for a while. Which obviously it wouldn't be a bad landing spot because Prime Video makes some incredible television. They do some really, really good shows. But the key with Prime Video is that they don't have a lot of that demographic show at their disposal. A lot of it is more adult-ish content. And Netflix has a lot of those kiddie. Say it again?
It said put it at HBO.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, HBO, it'd be violent and bloody and stuff. But I wouldn't mind a streaming service like that. Prime Video, Netflix, I think it'd be cool.
I think those are the two spots, to be honest.
I would probably prefer to be on Prime Video because I tend to like Prime Video stuff a lot. But if it was on Netflix, I wouldn't complain because then I can go and watch an episode of Cobra Kai and go watch Power Rangers and Netflix.
Well, it's funny because, all right, so Hasbro mainly works with Paramount. Paramount makes the Transformers movies. So that's what was always figured to be the thing, was that they were going to make the Power Rangers movie. And Paramount has also sold a lot of stuff to Prime Video. Yep. So if Prime Video and Paramount work together to produce it or something, that would be pretty cool. But also Entwistle obviously has a relationship with Netflix too. So who knows? I mean, I'm cool either way. Look, bottom line is in 2018, after the movie came out, I accepted. I was like, it's done. They're never going to make anything new. I just accepted it. I wasn't happy about it, but I did. And now I have this news. So I'm over the moon about it. I just don't want to get my hopes up because just like Gio said, I kind of like, I won't believe it till I see it. And I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but I'm super excited.
Just like we said last week, while we were talking about something, we have a lot more characters to fan cast now.
Oh, I know, right?
As long as this doesn't end up, which it won't, I can guarantee it. As long as it doesn't end up with like Hulu, it'll be fine.
Well, it won't because it's Disney.
I know.
And Hulu doesn't do a lot of originals. They do some, but not a lot. But I will say, Transformers has been on Hulu before. I will say that. The only thing that makes it more levity to have it on Prime Video is that Prime Video puts a lot of their original content in theaters. A lot of you can see a lot of Prime Video movies.
Oh, really?
In theaters. Yeah, there's a lot of Prime Video movies that actually make it to the theaters where Netflix doesn't, at least yet.
Amazon and Prime, they don't give two ish.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's exactly what I'm saying. So if like say the studio's like, okay, we're accepting pitches from these companies, and Prime Video's like, look, we want to make you a great television show, but we have the opportunity to make you a film, an actual studio film, and put it in theaters rather than just be on our streaming service. I guarantee the studio accepts that over just Netflix. That's a deal breaker right there. That's
I would
money.
hope so. That's the best scenario where like it's a streaming movie, but it also plays in theaters because I want to see it on the big screen. You're talking Megazords and things like that eventually if they can get the budget for that. So Prime Video would be my number one choice, but I'm okay with Netflix as well. Gio, what do you think the best landing spot for it would be, to be honest? Like regardless of behind the scenes stuff, like where do you think the best landing spot would be?
It has to be Netflix. I mean, they made it no secret that they're looking for their own franchise.
That's true.
That's a great call. That is a great call because this could be their franchise.
That's a very good point, Gio.
And Power Rangers is still a very popular intellectual property.
Sci-fi.
But again,
I'm
going to wait till I see it because they did the same thing in 2017. They actually had trouble financing the film, but they were able to get enough. They got like a small to middle budget.
Yeah.
And, it's just, I'm curious to see how they do it. I don't know how they do it. I don't have the answers because I really thought 2017 would have been the answer, but who knows?
Good point.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I'm saying, they have to go. Brian, you've heard of Shattered Grid. You asked me about it before with the comics. They have to go down that route because I guarantee you, if they translate that into a series or film, people like no matter what, if you like Power Rangers or not, you're going to be like, what the hell is that? Like it's such a cool story. So, and you guys got to look it up. Yeah. Oh, well, there's they made a fake trailer for Shattered Grid with the original Green Ranger playing the big villain, Lord Draken, who becomes like, it's if the Green Ranger stayed bad, basically, because he goes from bad to good in the original series. And it's an alternate universe where instead of going good, he stayed bad, and him and Rita took over that world, killed some other Power Rangers, and then he's going to travel to other dimensions and kill all the Power Ranger teams. Like that's his plan, and they have to stop him, and he's extremely powerful. So if they lead into that, I'm guarantee you people who aren't Power Ranger fans are going to be into it.
Dude, that's crazy.
I would also recommend looking up the fan film that Katie Sackhoff made about Power Rangers.
Oh, that's pretty cool too. Yeah, like
we check that on YouTube. It is dope.
Yeah, Gio, what were you saying?
I was just mumble jumbling shit.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said though. I was curious.
Oh, I was just quoting Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I could talk about this all night, but that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Apocaflix Now.
Just find Off the Morpher Grid on YouTube, and you'll get all the information you want.
Yes, check out Off the Grid on YouTube, please. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely be discussing this this week for sure. And don't forget to check us out this Thursday. Do you want to tell them what the episode is this Thursday, Jake?
Yeah, it's a full on The Boys spoiler review.
Yes.
We're talking season 2 of The Boys. We're gonna leave it all out on the table. We're talking everything that happened this season: the good, the bad, the ugly, the violent, the just crazy batshit nut stuff that happens in this show. We are talking it on Thursday, so join us 7:30 p.m. Pacific right here on this channel.
Yes, and also don't forget to check out the Mandalorian Club starting next Friday. Right?
This Friday.
That's this Friday. So
we're
Friday,
doing
We're doing the preview episode for the Mandalorian Club this Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on the channel. Also, to answer Star Drew, this will be revealed on Thursday's episode. It will be revealed on Thursday's episode.
I still haven't looked. I'll find out then. All right. Well, also don't forget to follow us on social media at Apocaflix Movies and check out our merch store, TeePublic. You can buy some Apocaflix t-shirts. Thank you, and we'll see you all later.